Man with a light bulb for a head is one of Stephen King's most well-loved and well-feared creations. His book is also one of the longest, running at over 1,000 pages, and as a result there's a lot about the pale-faced purveyor of panic which doesn't make it to the screen either in the TV series or the recent movie. And seeing as Pennywise preys on what you fear the most, and clearly what you fear the most is a lack of knowledge on the character, and not the fact that you're gonna die alone, I'm here to help you with a crash course in clowning. With this in mind, I'm Jules for WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 things you never knew about Pennywise. Number 10. He's older than the universe. It is actually a perfect name for this creature, as despite looking like a clown, it is actually of indeterminate age and gender with no fixed identity. It turns out that Pennywise existed long before the Big Bang in a dimension known as the Macroverse. He entered a state of hibernation and woke in early 18th century America to sustain himself on human victims before returning to his slumber. In the mid-18th century, for instance, he was behind the disappearance of 300 settlers in Derry. Number 9. He's an alien being with superpowers. Being from another dimension, Pennywise has powers beyond the comprehension of his victims, including the ability to shapeshift into any image taken directly from their mind. During the 1957-8 portion of the novel, he manifests himself as several cinematic monsters from the era, including the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, and Dracula. His other powers include the ability to read and manipulate the minds of his victims. For instance, he can make his prey believe that they're seeing balloons floating against the wind in order to lure them to his presence. And if he's feeling playful, he'll send them an eyeball in a Chinese fortune cookie. He's also able to make plants wither and die by touching them, and seems able to control the weather, changing it to a thunderstorm on several occasions. Number 8. He shares several characteristics with Freddy Krueger. In common with the lead villain from A Nightmare on Elm Street, Pennywise is a child murderer with supernatural abilities. Both antagonists can change their form, enter your dreams, and play upon your worst fears. At several points in the story, Pennywise manifests himself as a character close to one of the protagonists, appearing as Bill's brother and Beverly Marsh's father. Lovely stuff. Number 7. He's connected to the Dark Tower universe. It's kind of fitting, seeing that the big screen adaptations of both It and The Dark Tower should be released months apart, because the books also have a tenuous link between them as well. Pennywise is a demonic entity from the Macroverse, where Maturin, aka the Turtle, also resides. The Turtle is one of the guardians of the beams that support the Dark Tower, as well as Pennywise's long-term nemesis. In It, he advises Bill on how to defeat the creature. Number 6. Pennywise helped popularize coulrophobia. Though not recognized by the World Health Organization or the American Psychiatric Association, coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. In popular culture, its roots are usually traced back to It's publication, which apparently kicked off the whole evil clown archetype. But more on this point later. Number 5. He's a punk icon. Formed in 1988 in Hermosa Beach, Pennywise are a punk rock four-piece who take their name from King's creation. Between 1991 and 2005, the bands released an album every 2 years on Epitaph Records. The release of the 1990 It miniseries saw the clown motif become much more prevalent in music, with Insane Clown Posse adopting the clown gimmick for their brand of horrorcore, while Slipknot's Sean Graham became known for his clown masks and adopted the name Sean the Clown. Number 4. Rolling Stone ranked him number 8 on their Best Villains poll. In 2014, readers of Rolling Stone magazine voted for their favorite horror icons in a special poll for Halloween. Pennywise took 8th place, which isn't bad for a character who at that point had only appeared in a TV miniseries. In fact, Pennywise was the only character on the list with a single film credit. The top spot went to Michael Myers, who'd appeared in 9 Hollywood movies by that point, followed by Freddy Krueger, which also had 9, Jason Voorhees with 12, Hannibal Lecter with 5 movies plus a TV series, and Pinhead with 9 movies. Well done, you saucy clown. Number 3. Pennywise symbolizes social anxiety. In 2013, residents in Northampton, England reported seeing a creepy clown similar to Pennywise who proceeded to terrorize the city for a month. It was later revealed to be a prank dreamed up by a trio of local filmmakers, but it was a taste of things to come. Following similar sightings in Italy, Canada, and Australia, clowns became a phenomenon in late 2016, with sightings and attacks reported in nearly every US state. As for the reason behind such pranks, well, some claimed it to be due to an underlying social anxiety, that with tensions in the political and economic spheres, people sought to gain control however they could, in this case by scaring others to get a handle on their own lives. Number 2. He nearly met George Romero and Alice Cooper. When the Salem's Lot miniseries proved to be a ratings hit, ABC were keen to get another Stephen King adaptation on the go, so started looking at getting another It series moving along. At the forefront of those to direct was the legendary and now dearly missed horror director George A. Romero. However, he had to drop the project due to prior commitments. The project still carried on with some steam before falling apart, but not before they announced some of the actors desired for the series. Weirdly enough, Alice Cooper was on their list to play Pennywise, and I'm actually very glad that this didn't happen, as anyone who's seen Monster Dog can agree with. And number 1, Pennywise doesn't scare Stephen King, Ronald McDonald does. In an interview with Conan O'Brien, King admitted that he finds clowns monstrous looking and maintained that most children also seem to find them terrifying. When O'Brien asked the author if he'd ever had a personal interaction with a clown, King responded with an anecdote from a publicity tour. Now, King famously hates to fly, so his anxiety levels were through the f***ing roof even before takeoff, and they weren't helped by the arrival of a last-minute passenger, a man dressed as Ronald McDonald. While the guy knocked back a gin and tonic, King looked him over. Orange hair, orange shoes, the whole 9 yards, and finally decided to ask the question that had been bothering him. "Where did you come from?" he said. "McDonald Land," the guy replied. And that's what gave birth to It. And that's our list. What other It bits do you have to share with the class? Well, let me know about them in the comment section below. And why not swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.